fathers in Wilmington and across the country are having a hard time being involved in their children's lives, especially if they're incarcerated. The woman we are about to meet had started a nonprofit organization called Every Man Counts that helps these fathers in Wilmington, Delaware. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Nice to have you, Ajawavi. It's great that you have an organization that really caters towards the fathers, because as one becomes a parent, it seems in our country that the main focus is always on the women as opposed to the man. So congratulations on finding that niche market.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So let's get a little bit into how the idea came about. I know, first of all, you single mother, having experienced that, and having 3 children, raising them alone, and having experienced homelessness and not having a job. First, let's talk about that and that journey.
Okay, that journey was very difficult. I became a single mother, actually a single parent in 2007. And I try to explain this to a lot of my clients that, you know, there's a difference between being a single parent and a single mom or a single dad. Because you can be a single mom in a married home and also can be a single parent in a married home, because it depends on who's parenting the child. So I became a single parent in 2007 and left the marriage. So it was very difficult. At the time I did have a job, and I was pursuing my master's degree, and it was hectic. I walked away from my marriage, walked away from everything, became homeless with my 3 children, slept in my car a couple of weeks before we were able to secure a resident of our own. Fast forward, got a great job, left it to start my own business, and Every Man Count was birthed through that. But in the process of starting that, you know, you go through a lot of hardship, as far as especially financial hardships. So it was very difficult. Back again, almost homeless again the second time, building this business. So, you know, it's not something that comes easy, but you have to have a passion for it. And I had a passion for this. I started this project when I was doing my graduate work, and one of my professors, who is now the commissioner for DOC, encouraged me to do this because he heard my story, and I said, you know what, I want to help the fathers, you know, because as a single mom, there's resources out there. You know, we had a place to go, you know, even though we were homeless and slept in our car, but we had shelter, right? And fathers don't have that opportunities, you know, single fathers. You know, and do they have the resources out there? Do they have someone telling them and giving them information that can help them grow and help them be a better parent? Right. So I started that project in my graduate studies, and I continued it and developed it into a business.
Wonderful. And Ajawavi, share with us, what were your thoughts? One can only imagine having experienced homelessness and making sure that your children are fed and everything is going okay, but with so much of fear that can cripple us with the unknown. How did you push through that? I can only imagine the pain and the anxiety, but you pushed through that. And not only did you push through that, you went to Wilmington University and you birthed this nonprofit, Every Man Counts. What were your thoughts, or what could you say that could help that person who's going through a similar experience?
Perseverance. You have to be diligent in what you do. I knew there was, the silver lining at the end of the tunnel, you know, even though it was some cloudy days, and it was days that, like you said, homelessness, not having food. I too went on food stamps that helped me get, you know, to feed my family, you know. So the resources were out there, the information was out there, and I took advantage of it, you know. So I went through that, finished college, got my master's. In the meantime, at the same time, actually, I had my daughter, my oldest child, in college, which was also difficult because when I did, you know, was able to work and provide for her, I worked 2 to 3 jobs, working as a state mediator and also working as a waitress and as a home health aide. So I did it all. And, you know, it strengthened me, you know, it strengthened me to do what I'm doing now and to love what I'm doing now, you know. And so, you know, it's just something you have to have perseverance if you're going to go through this. And anybody can go, you know, can achieve what they want to achieve as long as they have that goal in mind and the end result, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And one thing I believe, the best entrepreneurs, small business owners, are the ones who've come through that journey.
Definitely.
Who've seen it, lived it, came out on the other side of it, and now are reaching back and developing creating organizations that are providing resources to the community. And that's what Every Man Counts is doing. Let's talk a little bit about that. What is this organization all about? What does it entail?
You see, I light up when you talk about Every Man Count, right?
I know you've been doing it for a while.
I love my program. Every Man Count is basically, we focus on reentry fathers and single fathers. Because I realized that those were the population that was not getting the necessary information that needed to navigate the court system, to be successful parents, and to even communicate effectively with their moms. So we started focusing on that after the project was done when I graduated from Wilmington University. We put it in place, right? In 2014, we started our first Every Man Count parent engagement session, which was a fishing event. So we took, it was about 12 reentry men from the probation office. We had a couple of probation officers, a couple of people that really believed in the program that accompanied us to Brandywine Creek. And majority of the fathers that came with us were, like I said, reentry, never held a fishing rod, never been fishing in their life. Wow. So, you know, we sent strict guidelines to what to wear. And they came in there with Timbs and white T-shirts, and you know, I'm like, this is not what you wear to a fishing event, right? So, but it was interesting, and it was so engaging. The children had such a wonderful time. Just the idea that they're there with their father, and they got to learn new skills. It was rewarding to see fathers cast a net or cast a line into the water, even though we didn't catch any fish. But it was so educational for them, and it was so rewarding for me. You know, and after that, we just started, you know, reinventing and trying to make sure the program works. So we have a program called Court Smart. Okay. And Court Smart helps our fathers navigate the family court system.
Which can be very traumatizing, difficult. Anxiety through the roof.
Definitely. So it's common sense smart, right? Because the judges and the commissioners expect you to know, to have that common sense knowledge of how to present yourself in court. So we try to make sure our fathers are presentable. Our fathers know their rights and responsibilities. If they need legal advice, we refer them to attorneys that are on standby, willing to do, you know, pro bono work or even for a fee. But, you know, we make sure that our fathers know what to expect when they go to court and how to respect the court, you know, the court system. How to communicate effectively with mom, because that's one thing that our father lacks, right? How to talk, right?
Communication's everything.
It's everything.
On both sides.
On both sides. But I believe that if a man takes the initiative and talk, that woman is willing to listen and she will talk back. But some fathers just think they know it all. So we try to tell them, that's great and good, you think you know it all, but let's try and focus on what's important here, your child, right? So let's try and do what's right. We've been doing Every Man Counts since 2014. We've helped over 1,000 fathers throughout the city of Wilmington and southern New Jersey. And we've had a succession rate, you know. It's funny because the CDC just did a report in May of this year that 65% of households are now run by single fathers, which is really good. It's up in the last decade by 10%. So we have to understand that is important. You know, fathers are not going to court saying, you know what, Your Honor, I'm ready to take that initiative. I'm ready to take on that role. You know, I believe I am a better parent. Not that mom is not, but I believe I can offer my child or my children something more, you know, because we have this stigma in the Black and brown community that our fathers are lacking. They leave their responsibilities on the mothers. They're not willing to take on that parenting role to be a better parent, and that is so not true.
That's not true. You have a lot that want to step up to the plate and don't know what it looks like, but they want to be there.
They want to be there, definitely.
And I do know I actually had the pleasure of attending one of your workshops at the Route 9
Yes,
Library when I myself was going through the custody experience and trying to make sure that father's involved. And one of the things that I've learned in your workshop is having other fathers there who are like what you're mentioning. They want to be there for their children, but they're going through that miscommunication with their children's mother, and then they're putting the child in between the two of them. Then you have the custody court orders, and if someone has a PFA, all these things that come into play when it comes to really spending that one-on-one quality time with your child. What are some of the things that you've seen through your program that has helped and benefited these fathers? I know you mentioned the court system, learning how to navigate through that, but what does that look like? Does it come down to learning your rights in regards to child support and not fearing that, and knowing that, I remember in your class you were saying it's not something that like it's taking out as a burden, it's what you owe the mother, and I never looked at it that way. I was like, that is such a great perspective.
Yes, you know, and a lot of, because lack of education, we don't teach our fathers or the community how to understand child support. That sometimes, as a mediator in family court, when I was there, many times fathers would come in, would be so out of it, wouldn't understand what was going on, because the day before they just gave mom like $100 or $200 or even $300, and then the next day they're in court now for child support, and like, but I've been taking care of you all these months, all these years. Why am I here? So both parties are not really educated on what child support really is, and that's what we do in our workshop. We educate you so you understand. And a lot of fathers leave out of there with the light bulb that comes up, and they have oh, that's what it's really about, you know? Because I'm thinking that she's only trying to get me, or mom, or I'm thinking he's only trying to get me. But you have to understand, I tell people all the time, child support is not really child support, right? Because child support is really parenting. You're parenting that child, you're supporting that child, you're doing homework with that child, you're taking that child on vacation, you're disciplining that child, you're involved in that child's life from start to finish. That's child support. Yes, monetary does help, but does it really? You know, you got to look at things the way it's supposed to be. People think that child support, you give me money and that's all I need from you. But it's not. As a single parent, remember I said I was married prior and became a single parent. So I didn't care for the child support. I just wanted my ex-husband to be involved in our children's life. That was support enough for me, because it gave me time to rebuild myself, to take the exhale for a moment, you know? And sometimes that's what we need, you know? So I educate my fathers on, look, don't think she's going to use that money to get her nails done or get her hair done. You're just basically reimbursing her for what she's already done for the child. And honestly, what she's done for the child, or what he's done for the child, is more than what you pay in child support as far as monetary, right? So you have to look at that, and that's how I bring it to them, you know? So, I mean, with everything we do, we try to do our parent engagement where we bring our fathers in with their children. We have the largest father and daughter tea parties in the state of Delaware. I'm assuming we're the only one. I haven't heard of anyone else doing it. We do Daddy Does My Hair, where we teach fathers how to do daughters' hair.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I love that program because, and there's videos that have gone viral on Facebook and Instagram on fathers combing their children, the
so
girls,
wonderful.
the little girls' hair, learning how to do a messy bun or putting the right products in it and curling it. Talk to us about this program.
That started last year. We had our first father and daughter, Daddy Does Our Hair. We have another one coming up next year. And what it is we have a lot of our fathers, I'm a mediator also. And when they go through divorce, they're separated, or separation, now they're a single parent and they have daughters. What do we do? When my daughter come over, do I let her hair go back to her mom with her hair all over the place? What do I do? Do I pay someone to come and do her hair? How do I approach a beautician or a stylist how to do my daughter's hair? So I said, you know, let's try this project, right? So we had a great turnout last year. We taught fathers how to do 2 braids. We taught father how to do a messy bun, you know, and it's great because the daughters like that. Growing up, my father did my hair, and I thought it was the best thing. When I went to school, people made fun of it. But it was my dad. He did my hair. He took his time. He couldn't part my hair straight. I had messy buns. I had everything. But it was from my dad.
And what did you get from that bond?
That bonding moment was so great because it made me feel that my dad really loved me. You know, even though it was hectic for him, he broke a lot of rubber bands because you see I have coarse hair. But still, you know, he took the time to show me he cares for me enough to want to spend time to do my hair. So we teach fathers, take your daughter to the beauty shop, sit with them, talk to the beautician, tell them these are the products that I would like to use in my daughter's hair. This is what I want to do. I want an updo. I want a flat braid. I want a twist. I want this. You need to be educated. I don't think fathers should only be with boys all the time in the barbershops, right? You need to also understand, because that's how you groom single fathers to be better fathers.
That's right. And with that program, you're bridging that disconnect between the child, the little girl and their dad. And that's very important because every girl needs their father in their lives, especially a dad who's been incarcerated and has gone through that experience and now re-entering the world and trying to get his life back together and and figuring how to financially support their little girl or little boy, and trying to figure out all the other things that comes along, how they dress and the hair.
Yes.
And there's so many. And you do something for little boys as well. As I believe you partner with an organization with a barbershop education class.
So we do Barbershop Conversation, and we do it throughout the city of Wilmington, Newark, Dover, southern New Jersey. We go into barbershop. You know, men don't like to talk, right? So you have to go to where you have to meet them where they are.
That's right.
So we go to the barbershops and we talk about their rights. We talk about their ideas. We're adding next year health education to that piece.
Is that like hygiene?
Yes, hygiene, going in, getting tested for certain, health issues, colon cancer and stuff like that. Because men don't talk about stuff.
I was gonna say that's important in our ethnicity, because they tend to wait till something really bad happens, as opposed to preventive care.
So we're saying that you want to be a better parent, be a healthy parent, right? Take care of yourself so you can then walk your daughter down the aisle, or you can walk her, be at her graduation or be at his graduation, or, be somewhere with them when they're older. Be a healthy parent if you want to be a better parent, right? And that's what we're doing next year. We're adding that piece to our Barbershop Conversation. So Barbershop Conversation it was birthed out of an idea, and it just grew. We have tons and tons of barbershops that are waiting on the list to be part of our Barbershop Conversation.
Okay, and what else would you like to share with us as we come to a close? I know you have a fundraiser coming up. There's other programs involved, and remember, it's a nonprofit organization, so it's really important to support nonprofit organizations in our community.
Definitely. On November 29th, we have our fundraising event, which is our year-end celebration. It's our 4th year. What we do is we honor our fathers in the communities, and we honor our partners, and we raise funds. So to be able to afford the programs we offer throughout the year, the next year. As I said, like you said, nonprofit, we need funds. You have to raise money. We just became a nonprofit. The first 3 years was all out of pocket for me. So we just became a nonprofit this year, and we're growing. We acquired United Way, just became a partner of ours. They donated men's suits for our job readiness skill partners with Route 9 Library, and we're able to actually dress 4 men, and all 4 found a job, and they're successful, and they're still gainfully employed. So it's all about helping the community, helping to reduce their recidivism rate, because our fathers, like I said, reentry fathers, have a reason to stay out of jail now. Because now they have relationship building with their children, and they can actually communicate effectively with mom and know their rights when they go to court, and they're not afraid of the judicial system.
That's right. I'm so big on information changes situations, so joining and being a member of an organization like yours really shows these fathers that it is possible. There's not an end-all be-all here. There is possibility to have a 50-50 or 100% on each part.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much. And also, I wanted to say real quick before we go, congratulations on just being an entrepreneur in our community, and really taking part and giving back to those fathers, because like I said, so many people forget about them.
They do.
And they do need access to these resources as well, and this is this kind of organization that's doing that for fathers who are living right here in Wilmington.
Definitely. I thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
I really do.
You're welcome, and best of luck on everything else coming up in your future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajawavi.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And on behalf of all of us here at WITN 22, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you. You've been watching In Focus, and I'm your host, Yesenia Taveras.